Hello, and welcome to TruceTalk, the podcast where we embark on a journey of discovery and transformation of mind, body, and spirit together. I'm Lindsay, your certified clinical hypnotherapist and certified hypnosis instructor at the Lindsay Morgan Clinical Hypnotherapy Institute. I'm delighted that you've chosen to spend this time with me, exploring the mysteries and possibilities of the mind in a way that only true conversation can reveal. Before we begin our session, allow me to extend my heartfelt thanks. Your presence here, your willingness to listen, and your generous donations are the fuel that keeps this vibrant community alive and thriving. Every contribution makes a difference, and for your support, I am deeply grateful. I also want you to know that your journey doesn't end here. If you feel inspired by what you experience here, you can keep the conversation going. Visit our website at www.trucetalk.com to access additional resources, upcoming events, and more insightful content designed to guide you along your path. You can also join us on our new YouTube channel, where I'll share further demonstrations, talks, and discussions that enrich and empower. And for those moments when you need a quick dose of inspiration throughout your day, follow us on Instagram at TruceTalk and keep up with us and our latest insights using the hashtag TruceTalkHypnosis. There, you'll find daily reflections, affirmations, and thoughtful messages crafted with care. Please subscribe to the TruceTalk blog. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for opening yourself to the possibilities within. It is my sincere hope that today's session will not only inspire you, but also remind you of the vast potential that lies within you to transform your limiting beliefs into freedom and doubts into clarity. Now, let's begin this journey together with the spirit of TruceTalk Hypnosis guiding us toward a more empowered and enlightened tomorrow. In this live episode, Hypnosis to Overcome Phobias and the Fear of Flying will be a live demonstration with a volunteer client who has experienced a fear of flying since childhood. And I'd like to start off by welcoming our volunteer client. As you may know, our client has experienced a fear of flying since childhood, a condition often referred to as aviophobia, and she has chosen to explore age regression hypnotherapy as a way to help her transform her deep-seated fear into a more confident, empowered response. Today's session is not only an opportunity for transformation, but also a chance for all of us to observe and learn about the logical mechanics underlying this therapeutic process. Before I begin the demonstration, let me explain briefly what will happen and how this process works. In clinical hypnotherapy, especially when we use age regression, we gently guide the client into a deeply relaxed state. Once the client's conscious mind has settled and the body is calm, we invite the subconscious to reveal memories that may be linked to the origin of the fear. In this case, we're interested in discovering those early experiences where the idea or sensation of flying first became associated with anxiety. It is important to understand that this isn't about reliving pain, but about exploring the landscape of your young self with wisdom of your present self, gently guiding the way. In this state of deep calm, we use a series of gentle, suggestive questions and sensory imagery, techniques inspired by the great Milton H. Erickson, to explore and allow the client to regress to an earlier time. By doing so, we help reframe those formative memories. Imagine that you are an observer looking at your younger self with compassion rather than judgment. As you revisit these early scenes, new meanings can emerge, and the fearful images can be gently transformed into ones of safety and even curiosity. The power of age regression hypnotherapy lies in its ability to rewire those old neural associations, replacing conditioned fear with new positive ones. I will also want to explain the logical structure of today's session to those of you that are attending in the class. First, I will guide our client into deep progressive relaxation using a gentle induction, often evoking the imagery of descending steps or entering a calm, safe space. This deep state of relaxation ensures that the client's conscious defenses are softened and the subconscious is receptive. Next, I will invite her to access a memory from her childhood, a time when flying was experienced without the full weight of fear. As she opens up this memory, I will use reframe techniques and soothing affirmations to help her reassociate the sensations of flying with calm, safety, and even possibility. Finally, once these new associations begin to settle, she will be invited to share, in her own words, why she has chosen regression hypnotherapy and how her fear of flying has affected her life. This sharing is an important part of the process. It not only validates the client's experience, but also helps illuminate for our audience the profound impact that early memories can have on our present lives, as well as the power of therapeutic intervention to reshape that narrative. Please understand that throughout this demonstration, the client remains in complete control. At any moment, she may choose to pause, revisit, or even discontinue the process. Our aim here is gentle exploration, empowerment, and ultimately transformation from a place of safety and respect. Now, before we begin, I would like to invite our volunteer client to share, in her own words, what motivates her to undergo regression hypnotherapy today. Please tell us how your fear of flying has affected your life and what you hope to achieve through this session.
When I was 15, I remember trying to get on a plane to go see my dad. And when I was at the airport, I just froze and all this anxiety came over me and my stomach hurt and I just froze. So I did get on the plane and I had all this fear and I didn't understand what that was all about. But I know that it stopped me from living a dream that I always had when I was young. I wanted to travel the world, and especially Paris. I've seen all the cathedrals there, and I wanted to just be inside one of them. And I always wanted to go to the Cannes Film Festival. I love films, but I couldn't even go see my father. I had to drive down. And that's how it's been whenever I want to go somewhere. I try. I get at the airport and I'm like, okay, I can do this. But I can't. Something comes over me and I don't know how to stop it.
Thank you for sharing your personal story. Your openness not only enriches the session, but also offers our listeners and class valuable insight into the impact of aviophobia and the importance of addressing it at its roots. Now, as we begin the demonstration, I invite you, both client and attendees and listeners, to relax, to let go of any tension, and to allow this process to unfold naturally. As you listen to my voice, remember that this journey is one of healing, a journey in which you rediscover that your early experiences, though once the source of fear, can be gently reinterpreted as opportunities for growth and safety in the present. Let us now begin this safe, compassionate, and transformative experience. Imagine, if you will, that your mind is like a vast library, a place where every experience, every moment is carefully stored. Now, in the comfort of a deep, relaxed state, allow yourself to travel back in time, a gentle age regression where you can revisit those early moments, not to relive pain, but to understand them. As you settle into this soft state of inner awareness, you might begin to notice that long ago, before the fear grew heavy, you experienced flying in a different light. Perhaps you recall the innocent wonder of looking up at the plane in the sky, or even at a time when movement through the air was simply part of the game of exploration. Notice now the possibility of revisiting that memory, seeing it as if you were an observer, detached yet compassionate toward your younger self. In this state, let your subconscious guide you, gently leading you to those moments when the world felt safe and open. Imagine the feelings that accompanied that time: lightness, curiosity, perhaps even joy. As you observe these memories, allow a new understanding to take root. You may find that the intense fear you now experience with airplanes or helicopter flight was born of associations formed long ago. Associations that no longer have to dictate your present. Now, from this place of deep relaxation, allow a gentle suggestion to emerge. I am safe. I am free to see my past with kindness and from a new perspective. As this suggestion smolders softly within you, notice how the old images of fear begin to give way to possibilities of calm and curiosity. With each breath, allow these new impressions to reshape your response to flying. Imagine that as you continue this inner journey, the fear of flying becomes just one chapter in your life, a chapter that can be reread with new understanding. The same helicopter airplane that once stirred anxiety now appears as a symbol of adventure and possibility, a testament to your growth and resilience. In this process of age regression, your mind naturally reframes those early experiences. It teaches you that fear as potent as it may seem today, was simply a misinterpretation in a moment of vulnerability. And now, with your matured self gently watching, you empower that young part of you to heal, to release, and to embrace the skies with calm assurance. Imagine that as you settle into a state of deeper relaxation, you allow your mind to drift to a time when the sensations of fear were not yet so imposing, a time when the seeds of your aviophobia first took root. In this gentle state, age regression clinical hypnotherapy invites you to revisit an earlier moment in your life, an internal journey back to a time when you perhaps encountered a situation that unknowingly set the stage for your fear of flying. Now, as you continue to listen to my voice, you might begin to notice that your mind naturally wants to wander back into your past. You may recall vivid images or sensations from childhood or an early experience, when the experience of flying or the anticipation of flying held a different, less conditioned meaning. As you travel back in time through your memories, you begin to see these early experiences as separate from who you are today. Just like the pages in a book that tell a story, each chapter distinct but connected. Notice how in that earlier time, you might have felt curious rather than afraid, even if there was a moment that later transformed into anxiety. What if you could re-examine that memory from a state now enlightened perspective? You might see that these early experiences were not the whole story, but only a small part of your journey. And as you observe these memories with the calm detachment that comes from deep relaxation, you can gently reframe them, transforming once frozen images of fear into opportunities for healing and understanding. You may begin to notice, as you allow yourself this regression, that the earlier sensations of safety and wonder can be brought back into your awareness. Perhaps you recall a time when the sky seemed vast and intriguing rather than overwhelming. Now, with each deep, slow breath, let these images re-emerge, offering you new insights and a fresh perspective on what flying could mean. In this state, every suggestion is like a seed planted in fertile soil. You might whisper to yourself, I am safe. I can travel through the skies with curiosity and calm. You see, these gentle affirmations are not just words. They are the means by which your subconscious mind begins to rewire its responses, replacing old fears with new, empowering beliefs. You see, this is the essence of age regression hypnotherapy for aviophobia. By allowing your mind to embark on a respectful journey to your past, you enable yourself to understand and reframe the origins of your fears. The process that you're going through gently dissolves the conditioned responses so that the anxiety associated with flying becomes a distant memory, a feeling no longer tethered to your present. Now, imagine again for a moment that you're seated in a quiet, more comfortable space, one where your eyes gently close down even tighter, and your mind can begin to wander. And as you settle deeper into your calm, relaxed state, notice how your breathing becomes soft and rhythmic, almost like a gentle lapping of those waves over there on that peaceful shore. Now, allow your mind to drift slowly backward, further back to a time when the skies were merely a canvas of possibility, when the sensation of flying was not yet burdened by fear. In this safe, relaxed state, you find yourself on a quiet journey through your memories. This gentle age regression is not to relive pain, but to observe a time when your feelings about flying were different. A time when perhaps the mere sight of an airplane or helicopter stirred curiosity rather than anxiety. As you journey back in time, imagine you're an observer, watching a younger version of yourself who encountered flying for the first time. Notice the expressions of wonder in that moment, the light of curiosity mingled with a hint of excitement. You may see a memory of looking up at an airplane soaring overhead, or perhaps a gentle helicopter whirling around in the distance, its rotor blades glinting in the sunlight. Allow those early impressions to surface slowly, like images fading into view through a soft focus lens. Now, Notice how the younger you didn't yet carry the heavy weight of fear. Instead, you might have felt a quiet sense of adventure. Gently, as you watch this memory just unfold, you can begin to reframe it. In that safe, distant place of recollection, allow yourself to whisper softly, "I am safe. I can see clearly now, and I trust that I have always had the strength to explore the skies." These words, repeated tenderly in your mind, start to rewire the old associations. The once dreaded image of flight becomes softened, transformed into something that speaks to possibility and growth. Allow your subconscious to merge the calm of that memory with the strength of your present awareness. Imagine that each breath, each gentle exhalation, is washing away the remnants of learned fear, leaving behind a fresh clarity. You begin to see that the flight you once found frightening now holds the potential for discovery. A reminder that you are, in essence, a traveler with the wisdom of past experiences guiding you toward the future where flying is embraced with quiet confidence. As these new, empowering images become part of your inner landscape, you invite a profound transformation. Your younger, frightened self is now gently embraced by the knowing, resilient self that you are today. In this state, the old triggers of aviophobia lose their grip, replaced by a warm certainty that you've always possessed the capacity to be both safe and adventurous. Now, as you prepare to gently return to full awareness, know that the insights you have gathered will stay with you. Whenever you think about flying, the memory of this journey will remind you that you are safe, capable, and free to soar into the experiences with calm and grace. Now, as we prepare to complete our session, I'm going to count from 1 to 5. When I get to the number 5, you'll return right here in your full and regular waking consciousness, feeling completely rested, refreshed, and alert. And remember, you can return to this state of calm awareness anytime you wish. Now just listen to the sound of my voice, and you'll begin to return. 1. Coming back now, aware of the sound of my voice and the gentle sound of the waves and the people around you. 2. Feeling more rested and refreshed with every word that reaches your ears. 3. Beginning to breathe deeply, noticing gentle movements and perhaps even a small stretch as you awaken. 4. Feeling as if cool spring water just rushed over your eyes and face, washing away any lingering haze. 5. You are now wide awake, completely restored, and full of regular waking consciousness. Welcome back. Thank you for taking this journey with me today. I'd love to hear about your experience. When you're ready, please share with me what you noticed, what you felt, or discovered during this session.
Wow, what an experience. I just couldn't believe that when I was 8 years old, this memory came up of my mom and dad fighting, and that she was taking him to the airport, and I was in the back seat, and I was so scared that I was never going to see my dad again. We went there, they said their goodbyes, and all I felt was nervousness, like I wasn't ever going to see my dad again, and that paralyzed me. But what I experienced from this hypnosis was I just changed the outcome, and I saw it from a different perspective, and it just changed me. So now I feel like I can go on any airplane, and I can't wait now to book a flight to Paris, one of my dreams that I've always wanted to go. Thank you so much. This was so rewarding. Thank you.
I'm merely a guide. You did all the heavy lifting and all the work. And now, as we bring this session to a close, I want to take a moment to reflect on the remarkable process we've just witnessed. Today, we saw how age regression clinical hypnotherapy offered our client an opportunity to travel back to those early moments when fear began to take hold. But what's perhaps even more extraordinary is that the transformation we observed, a reshaping of fear into a more empowering perspective, a realization that the past need not dictate the present. And now, as you sit here reflecting, you may begin to wonder what stories lie quietly in your own past. What early experiences shaped the fears, hesitations, or uncertainties that might be holding you back today? It's a fascinating question, isn't it? Because for each of us, the roots of our phobias, whether it's a fear of flying, speaking in public, or something else entirely, are like seeds planted long ago. And those seeds, often watered by misunderstandings or misinterpretation, can grow into something larger than we ever imagined. But just as we saw today, those roots don't have to remain tangled. TruceTalk Clinical Hypnotherapy offers a gentle, safe way to revisit those early experiences, not to relive them in distress, but to see them from a place of strength and understanding. Imagine yourself stepping into that younger version of you, not with judgment, but with kindness, as if offering a hand to a frightened friend. In that place, you can begin to disentangle the fear that relies there and reframe it into something that feels lighter, softer, and far less imposing. And here's the most beautiful part. This process isn't just about uncovering where the fear began. It's about rewriting the story. It's about saying to yourself, I understand why I felt that way then. But today, I can choose something different. I can choose calm. I can choose confidence. I could choose freedom. Because when we go to the root cause of our phobias and fears, we don't simply expose them, we transform them. Consider for a moment what it might feel like to replace that fear with curiosity, to turn anxiety into a sense of wonder, to reclaim a part of your life that fear might have taken from you. Maybe it's the chance to board a plane and visit distant places. Maybe it's the confidence to speak in front of an audience. Or perhaps it's something simpler, like walking into an unfamiliar space and feeling completely at ease. Whatever it may be for you, know that the possibility of change is always within reach. Today, you saw how one person's fear, anchored in early experiences, could be revisited, reframed, and released. And now, I invite you to consider what fear, what phobia might you be ready to let go of? What might happen if you allowed yourself to explore not just what you're afraid of, but why it began? And, more importantly, how you can move beyond it. TruceTalk clinical hypnotherapy, particularly with age regression, offers a profound and compassionate way to take that journey. It doesn't force or rush. It meets you where you are and gently guides you toward where you want to be. And just as we've seen today, the results can be life-changing. So as you leave this pavilion today, take with you not just the insights from today's session, but also a renewed sense of possibility for yourself. And if there's a part of you, perhaps a quiet part, that is curious about what lies at the root of your own fears, know that there is a path waiting for you. A path that invites you to explore, to heal, and to grow. Thank you all for being here today, and thank you for coming up and saying hello and volunteering for this demonstration. Not just as observers, but as participants in this journey of discovery. Whether this inspires your own transformation or simply deepens your understanding of what's possible, I hope you leave with a sense of empowerment and curiosity about what's next. Let today serve as a gentle reminder. You are not bound by the fears of your past. You have the power to transform them, to choose a different story, and to create a future where those fears no longer hold you back. Thank you so much for joining me today on this journey and enter the power of transformation through TruceTalk Hypnosis. I am truly grateful for your time, your openness, and the trust you place in this process. It has been a privilege to share these moments of insight and healing with you. And I hope that you carry a sense of calm, possibility, and empowerment with you as you continue your path. If you felt inspired by our time together and are ready to explore deeper transformation in your own life, I warmly invite you to schedule a TruceTalk clinical hypnotherapy session. Each session is a personal opportunity tailored to help you overcome obstacles, unlock your inner resources, and gently rewrite your story. To take the next step towards a more empowered tomorrow, visit our website at www.trucetalk.com. You can also connect with us on Instagram at TruceTalk and follow the hashtag TruceTalk Hypnosis for daily affirmations and insights. I'm Lindsay, your certified clinical hypnotherapist and hypnosis instructor at the Lindsay Morgan Clinical Hypnotherapy Institute, located in the Coastal Counseling Clinical Hypnotherapy and Psychotherapy Center. Thank you again for being part of this transformative experience. I look forward to accompanying you on your continued journey towards healing and self-discovery. Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and remember, every step you take on your path is a step towards a brighter, more resilient you in mind, body, and spirit.